Karen from Jackson Wright, what can we do to help you, a common sense elected official, get work that needs to be done in Congress?
Give me more allies. Talk to your friends, family members in other districts. Get out to the polls and elect common sense conservatives.
And draft doctors.
And since you asked, that doesn't include one Democrat. Why? Because the first vote they'll take in the House is for who's going to be the Speaker. And I've never seen a Democrat vote for a Republican for Speaker. Sadly, I've seen at least one Republican vote for a Democrat for Speaker. Thankfully, that Republican's no longer in Congress. So, bottom line is, as was said by one of our best-known framers and founders, this is a republic, madam, if you can keep it. And that means we have to engage fully in our election process. I'm a representative. I'm a representative of the government. You are the government. There were people that didn't vote for me. 35% didn't vote for me. I know that. I've had other districts where significantly more than that didn't vote for me, but I still won. And on the principles that I espouse in campaign, then I carry it out. But that's where we need the people out of the vote. And I need allies. And right now, at this point in time, because of the death of a Democrat member of Congress, just a week and a half ago, we are at a 2-vote majority, Republican 2-vote majority. But that seat will be filled, unlike what the governor did in this state, in waiting 16 months to fill out state Senate seat, and allowing up in the Midland area no one to represent them as a state senator. This district seat will be filled, and we will be back to a 1-vote majority in the House. That's tough. I've been there when we've had a 30-vote majority. There the speaker has some control. This is tough. So, get out and vote. And vote for America's founding principles, which includes support of law enforcement. And the next question.
Yes, sir. Tim from Jackson writes, explain the Iran procedure of the following political negotiations. Iran, no central leadership. So Trump, who does he negotiate with? The process to USA advantage and get the process moving. Explain the ceasefire, naval ships, escorts of today to give the straits.
Yeah, I think right now, since day one, we took out a significant amount of their leadership, including the senile Ayatollah, who had been a burr under the saddle of every country in the world.
Which is an act of war.
Through over 1,000 American citizens, military personnel and others had been killed over those 47 years by Iran and its proxies, or taken captive in Tehran.
This was by Reagan.
Taking him out, as well as 40 others along with him that first day, was a first step. Since then, taking out more in military leadership and others has made it, I think reasonable minds will believe this, that Trump doesn't care about who's negotiating now. And he's even said, we don't know who. We don't know who's in charge. It can be the IRGC, the radical army of the Ayatollah. It can be the puny regular army, leaders who state something but then have to look to IRGC and see if there's a gun coming toward them, because they're willing to kill over 40,000 people
right now.
during 1 week of time to get control? Or is it some ambassador? And I think Trump has said, that's why we're not sending any of our people over to Islamabad. Let Pakistan do what it can do. But ultimately, our embargo of all their oil by blockading all of their ports is going to do the job. Because ultimately their economy will crash, if it hasn't already. Their oil wells, which have to pump or else they start filling with water. And they don't have places to store them or ship them anymore. That would be the negotiations.
How are
And
military
ultimately,
bases looking over
They
there?
will cry uncle.
Because we're waging a war.
Tyson from Summit Township says, what are you doing to eradicate the waste, fraud, and abuse in student loan debt?
Who is that?
Tyson from
Tyson?
Summit
Thanks for
Township.
asking that.
Change it up.
That was my whole responsibility in the One Big Beautiful Bill. Not only to start the abolishing of the Department of Education, that quickly I'll add for some of you who disparage that statement. We know we don't have the votes in the Senate to, by law, remove the Department of Education from existence. But we do know that we have the ability to reshape the department, to end certain functions of the department, to put functions over in the Department of Labor for workforce training, put IDEA and other healthcare issues, disability issues over to the Department of Health and Human Services, where they were before the Department of Education. To put student loan issues over to the Department of Treasury. They ultimately handle it in the end anyway. And ultimately downsize the department to the point that now the Secretary of Education is giving her building, which was 70% vacant after all of the redevelopment she had done, and give that Department of Energy, who has expanded because Trump wants us drill baby drill and use our own energy sources. They'll be moving over to the Department of Education building, and then the Department of Education will move to the old energy building, a smaller building. But on student loans, I was asked by our leadership to find $300 billion of savings through reconciling, changing, amending, killing bad parts of the student loan program that brought an unbelievable indebtedness to people for education that ultimately for many didn't provide them a job in the field they had their major. And many who didn't even complete their education, but still had the loan debt. And who believed President Biden when he put through his SAVE Act, which was his saved student loan debt, which basically said, you don't have to pay off your debt. If you wait long enough, we'll forgive you of that. And the rest of you will pay for it. But we said no to that. So I was told to find $300 billion of saving, one of the 17 committees in Congress to have responsibility for the One Big Beautiful Bill, and we found $350 billion of savings. We put downward pressure on tuition costs by demanding accountability from universities and colleges that would take federal dollars, would have to justify the need for those dollars by proving that they had students who were leaving and getting a job that would provide them an income significantly better than what they would have gotten if they just left high school and gone out to the workplace. That sounds sensible, doesn't it?
Sure.
We also ended the Graduate Plus student loans, which basically said you can be a graduate student for the rest of your life. And the loans can continue coming in. We said nuts to that. If you want to be a graduate student the rest of your life, find your own means of supporting that. Our responsibility is to get you in the marketplace, into the workplace, doing a job. That's responsibility. If you want to go on additional like graduate degrees, fine. But the taxpayer shouldn't be funding that. We also reduced the level of Parent Plus. We found so many parents who had taken out these loans, good-natured, goodwill, they wanted their kids to succeed, to get an education they didn't have, But now they took on an additional mortgage or a second mortgage. And they're costed with paying off that student loan debt through the Parent Plus loan for the rest of their lives. So we put strictures on that. And then we also put caps on graduate and undergraduate loan levels. And I think it's gonna work.
I'm sure you do.
Because every dollar that we gave an additional student loan capability coming from Pell Grants, from the federal student loan programs, it was interesting, you could see colleges raise the cost of that tuition. Why? Because it was gonna come from the federal government. Now they don't have that certainty. They have a cap there. And we're already seeing schools that are reducing their tuition. Why? Because they're also seeing a lot of students who aren't coming from high school and going to four-year universities anymore. They're going to trade schools. They're going to certification programs. They're going to apprenticeships. Because they've come to realize they can make more money more quickly by having that type of training. And they can add to that as years go by, with maybe even corporations paying them to get their engineering degree once they've shown their ability in the marketplace. It's been cool to watch. And so also in my bill, for the first time in history, we didn't say Pell Grant was only for community college and four-year institutions. We said it was also for trade schools and apprenticeship programs. So you can get those, have least ability to pay, even for a trade school, the ability to use Pell to start their training there. Makes all good sense, doesn't it? Yeah. Next question.